do want to get into the Jelly Roll thing, um, the Grammy. I've been rocking with Jelly Roll since the 10-minute freestyle. Um, love Jelly Roll, love his music. I've seen him transition from um, doing rap music in Tennessee to where he is now. Um, but there's some crazy things that happened at the Grammys, and I'd love to get into it. Jelly Roll, whose name is Jason DeFord, delivered one of the most Jesus-filled appearances and speeches to a secular award show has ever heard before. After winning the Best Contemporary Country Album for Beautifully Broken at the Grammys, this man has lived a life of brokenness, been incarcerated in jail, and of course, we've all come from backgrounds of brokenness, of betrayal, of hardship. You know, none of us are perfect, right? But we're on this road for Jesus. I've heard a lot of people, even when people were talking about him linking up with um, other artists, um, making the Heartfelt Hallelujah song with Brandon Lake, and talking about who his wife is. And because Bunny XO hasn't had the biggest and greatest reputation either as well. But we still have these two people that are from the struggle. They're from a place where they've lived struggle and they're trying to change, and you can see that they're trying to change, right? There's people that are bashing them that somebody like Jelly Roll can get on a song like Heart for Hallelujah with Brandon Lake. And how dare Brandon Lake have somebody like Jelly Roll on a song? And it's a transition. No one's perfect, right? But Sunday night, February 1st, we've seen something out of Jelly Roll that no one has ever done before. I've seen people give thanks to God at award shows. I've seen people give thanks to people at award shows. But I've never seen somebody boldly proclaim Jesus at an award show. Never. Let's watch this.
I know they're going to try to kick me off here, so just let me try to get this out. First of all, Jesus, I hear you and I'm listening, Lord. I am listening, Lord. Second of all, I want to thank my beautiful wife. I would have never changed my life without you. I'd have ended up dead or in jail. I'd have killed myself if it wasn't for you and Jesus. I thank you for that. I thank you for my label, Broken Bow, Country Radio, baby. What's up, dog? Oh, Republic, John Manili, we did it, baby. There was a time in my life, y'all, that I was broken. That's why I wrote this album. I didn't think I had a chance, y'all. There was days that I thought the darkest things. I was a horrible human. There was a moment in my life that all I had was a Bible this big and a radio the same size and a 6x8 foot cell. And I believed that those two things could change my life. I believed that music had the power to change my life and God had the power to change my life. And I want to tell y'all right now, Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is not owned by no music label. Jesus is Jesus, and anybody can have a relationship with him. I love you, Lord.
Wow, it's so crazy how even the first things that he said, like, let me say this before they kick me off. He knew that what he said was going to upset some people. And you can tell that Jelly Roll is in the beginnings of him being a Christian. He's not perfect. You know, there's been videos of him walking out of dressing rooms with other girls and stuff like that. He's not perfect, right? But I've never seen anybody do what he just did there. Anybody. proclaim Jesus from a place like that. Grammys, where there was 12,000 people there in attendance. 12,000 people were there, plus the millions around the world that watched him just give thanks to Jesus and tell people that he's read a Bible and listened to music in a 6x8 cell, a place where his life was changed. And of course, he gives thanks to the people that is around him. Of course, the closest one, his wife. God is changing people for the better. Let's watch this.
Make a big me thing. I say it's all God. I was 540 pounds, mental health, depression, suicidal, drug addiction. I mean, just the bottom side of the map. Horrible human, bottom feeder, cheater, womanizer, just horrible human, you know? And none of that matters. None of that matters, man. You can change all that. And that'll just be, that's just a shadow that stands beside you every now and then. And you just decide whether or not you feed it anymore.
Every day is a new day.
Every day is a new day, man. Yesterday's done, man.
What is your favorite?
Yes, that's true. You know, he says it right there that he was a womanizer, right? That he has had a life full of bad decisions. But God can change it all. And we all know that. Listen, props to him. 540 pounds. His physical transformation is crazy. It's life-changing. It's crazy that God can do all of this with him. He is a very big figure in a lot of people's lives, especially with the weight transformation and the transformation that he's making with God. It's crazy how he can go on a stage that big, on a platform that big, and boldly share Jesus with people and give thanks to God of the transformations that are happening in his life. Is he perfect? No, he's not perfect. Listen, with that being said, listen to what he says to some people that asked him about ICE, because we know that a lot of things happened.
What's going on in our country right now?
I don't really. So this is the truth, and I'm glad somebody asked, because I love talking about this stuff when people care to hear my opinion. But so I can tell you that people shouldn't care to hear my opinion, man. You know, I'm a dumb redneck. I haven't watched enough. I didn't have a phone for 18 months. I've had one for 4 months and don't have social media. I hate to be the artist that's that aloof, but I've become so disconnected from what's happening, and I'm just not I grew up in a house of like insane pandemonium, and like I didn't even know politics were real until I was in my mid-20s in jail. Like, that's how disconnected. When you grow up in a drug addict household, you think we like have common calls about what's happening in world politics? Like, we're just trying to find a way to survive, man, you know? And I have a lot to say about it, and I'm going to in the next week, and everybody's going to hear exactly what I have to say about it in the most loud and clear way I've ever spoken in my life. So I look forward to it.
We see from that video that he's not opinionated with politics. He's not opinionated with everything else that happened at the Grammys with Billie Eilish and all of these people, right? He's not opinionated with that. He came to give glory to Jesus and to honor Jesus for taking him where he was, for bringing him as far as he has brought him. So we see in this video that there's been a transformation in his life, that he knew that somebody was not going to like what he was about to say, that he had to say what he was going to say really fast before they cut off any microphones, before they stopped what he was saying, because he was about to give glory to Jesus for everything that's happened in his life. I know I just had to have a take on it. That is Jelly Roll perfect? No, he's not. Are you perfect? No, you're not. But God is transforming us day to day, from glory to glory. And I pray for Jelly Roll. I pray for Bunny XO. I pray for his whole label and his staff and everybody that's involved in his life. I pray for them. Because listen, you don't have to be perfect to be used by God. He went on that platform and he gave thanks to Jesus, the only person I've ever seen at a Grammy Award to give thanks to Jesus. Stand up for what you believe in, even if you're standing there alone. Was there a lot of people that clapped for what he said? Yes. But there was still people that clapped for people like Billie Eilish that said some crazy things. Jesus is coming back soon. We need to get ready. We need to pray for these people. We need to pray for the people around us that they find Jesus. Until next time, thanks for watching.